To be really competitive, you've got to be very fast in your innovation, and that means everything from research through to revenue. It definitely is important to understand how you can make your innovation pipeline more efficient. I have been at Johnson Matthey a long time, and when I first joined, I would say that the culture was experiments, single experiments, learn from that, next single experiment. Over the years, people have realised that they can be much more efficient in their innovation by using good design of experimentation. So that's thinking hard before you start, planning your experiments, and reduce the number of practical experiments they need to do in order to get to the answer more quickly.
Design of experiment for me, it is the only way to do research in an efficient way. It is the future. It will come like a wave. Some people will catch them standing up and other ones not, but it will come.
When you're talking about sustainable technology, if you're reducing the amount of experiments that you need to do to get to the end result, that is a sustainable approach to R&D. You can't help but innovate more quickly in that space.
And doing a good experiment is really expensive, actually. If you think of all the resources that you need, the infrastructure you need, and the people and the time and the equipment to do that, you want to get the most value out of that.
The design of experiment is not new. I learned it in the university, doing it by hand. But now it's accessible. It's the technology, the software will make it accessible to everyone, and that's the beauty. And I think we need to be as quick as possible to adopt it. Everything that we learn is not going to stay in a notebook. It's going to pass. It's going to be transferred to the business between the different functions in a company. We should be building on our knowledge in that way, in a way that we can transfer it easily.
For me as a leader, I recognise that this is a culture change and we're asking people to behave differently, and that actually is quite hard. You have to show people some really good case studies to try and encourage people to understand why they should adopt this process, you know, why use automation, why use design of experimentation.
We show the comparison between doing it traditionally and doing it with design of experiments, and we did our own calculations. And we realized that we were actually saving 50% of the R&D time and resources in almost all of the cases. To the leaders, you have to talk about value. That's what they want to hear. They want to see what is the outcome of it. I think you need to tell them a number. Saying actually to the decision makers that they can save 50% of that time, or what I like to say better, it's like they can use that 50% of resources in something else.
Even more experiments.
I think it's very compelling. I think.
In fact, I did like the 50% reduction in experimentation, and I still quite like that. I remember Stephen and Pilar knocking on my door one afternoon and saying, we would like to devote Pilar's time to really looking at statistical analysis and the use in our company, and we would like Pilar to train others to do it. It was quite easy to say yes, actually, and I could see that it would really help us be more efficient, and also the fact that we're all using the same approach. Tech transfer is always a very difficult step, so you know, anything you can do to make things more transferable more quickly, that's very compelling. If we can make it as simple as possible to enable people to be able to do design of experiments, that's the beauty of it.
I think one of the good things about some of the technology that are available now, they're a lot more accessible, more user-friendly. It sort of democratises the whole digital economy in science, doesn't it?
Constantly the tools are changing and upgrading, and like any business, there'll be some parts of the business that are slightly further ahead than others, and that's good in a way because you want people to pull others through.
So we have a lot of ambassadors that have been trained first and they are spreading it around them.
Scientists are sort of natural collaborators like that. They like helping each other and working with each other, and so that approach works really well in an R&D community, I think.
And in the manufacturing as well.
Yeah, and in the manufacturing
exactly. It's not just about R&D. I think there has value across the board. And you probably don't need everyone to be at the same level, but you will want your organisation to be trained at the level that they need to be trained to do what they have to do.
Increasingly, more people are using data and statistical tools and design of experiments. We are working hard to make sure the tools are available for everyone.
the early career scientists definitely want that data science piece, but they want to be quicker and more agile and flexible, and I think that they ask for that kind of training. I mean, that's the whole point. Sharing your knowledge and learning from someone else's work.
Yeah.
That's what science is.